right, what's up, guys? This is the 585 Boys podcast here again, recording our 7th episode. Just want to mention right off the bat, it is now a good time to buy and sell. You can buy low interest rates if you can find something, and your house will sell fast. I'm with Howard Hanna, Jordan Diaz. Look me up. Ooh. So let's get down to business.
That was nice.
Gotta throw the plug in there.
Yeah.
We got a good one today. As usual, we got Johnny. What's up, Johnny?
What's going on, guys?
Also, we actually have our first local celebrity on the show.
Feels good. Feels good. We finally got here.
What's up, Mina?
Hey, guys.
So yeah, it's pretty cool to have you on here. Pretty much a boss bitch, you know. So I definitely wanted to do one with you because I feel like you could be, you're very inspiring to a lot of people, and
that's so sweet.
You're killing it out there. So what I want to do first is I want you to kind of run down your resume. Hit what you've done.
Dear Lord, my resume is long. So I started pastries when I was 15. I went to a Moco, and this is a really weird and creepy thing, but I wanted to be a mortician. So I went because they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I went into a Moco, and I went to cosmetology first, like that day where they bring all the kids in and you get to kind of see what they have to offer. And I went into cosmetology, and I remember the room smelling so bad of just chemicals. I'm like, I don't know about this. I walked into the baking room, and it was just like, oh my God, I'm home. It smelled so much better. And I'm like, okay, I think I could do this over, putting makeup on dead bodies.
Yeah. The one thing about that, though, is that business never dies.
It's always dead, but never dies.
Right. You're always going to get business there.
Okay,
yeah.
So I started off there, and then while I was there, I actually did really well. I didn't realize how well I was going to do. I went to like cake decorating competitions around the area. I went to like one that was in Syracuse that was like a big one. It was a bunch of kids from like New York State competing, like regional, I think it was called. So I had won a few here, like won first place in a couple here. And then we went on to that one. I actually got disqualified from that one because I am not a very good bread maker, and you had to make bread a part of it. So after doing that, I was just like, oh my God, I love this. I want to keep doing it. And I actually worked at Wegmans from when I was 15 until I was like 21 or 22. So after that, I started working at Wegmans and then just kind of like making cakes there. And then I was doing bagel making, which is a lot of fun. You get a lot of burns with it, but it's a lot of fun. And then after that, I worked at a whole bunch of different bakeries. Oh my God. I worked at Jackson's Bakery, which is probably like one of my favorite bakeries in Rochester. The former owner of that bakery was like my mentor. I loved him. His name was Jim. He taught me so much. He was really hard on me because he knew that I could like do better than what I'd give him on some days. And so after that, I went to Donuts Delight, and I worked there when they first reopened. But Donuts Delight, I was living in Chile, and I was driving out to, it was pretty much around Irondequoit every day. It was like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I only stuck with that for so long because there's only so much you can do with donuts as far as decorating, and I really wanted to decorate cakes, and I wanted to go further. So I worked at a couple other bakeries, and then I learned a little bits from them, and then finally in like 2014, I was like, all right, I'm going to open my own bakery. I'm done doing this. It was one of my goals in pastry school was to open a bakery. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. Just screw it. Forget it. Let's just get it going. Yeah. So in 2015, I opened Something Delicious Bake Shop. I opened it on South Ave first, and then I was there for 3 years, and we were just growing so fast. Like after my first year, we expanded in the building because we were doing like cake decorating classes, and my crew went from me and like a couple of my friends helping me to me and 13 other people.
Wow.
So at that point, I picked up the bakery, and I grew up in Greece. Even though, like, I went to high school with you guys for a couple of years, I lived in Greece my entire life. So it made sense for me to move it back to my hometown. So I moved it back to Greece in 2018, and then I was there for a couple more years, and I'm not going to lie, owning a business is not a lot of fun. It's really stressful. Customers are really mean. Just need to point out, be nice to your local businesses, especially during this pandemic, because they have gone through a lot. A lot of them are close to losing their businesses. A lot of them literally work 20-hour days. I'm not even exaggerating. There was days where I slept at my shop because I just needed to make sure that I got everything done. So do not write them a bad review just because maybe you had a bad experience there, or they're having a bad day. Give them another shot, or don't give them another shot at all. Just don't write them a bad review. That's all I have to say.
I feel like we're way too fast to just jump on Yelp or whatever.
Well, nobody thinks about the consequences
blah.
of that, and this is people's lives,
especially now, like you said, for the people that are lucky. And
that one review could totally ruin everything.
Yeah,
definitely.
I have a lot of friends who own businesses. Like, from owning a business, I've met a lot of small business owners, and a lot of them are like our age. They're like in their 30s and late 20s. So they put everything. You put everything into it, and you put your life on hold.
Yeah.
Completely. Like, it comes first. If you are married or if you have kids and you want to open a business, just know that you need to make sure you find a good work-life balance, because your business comes first. Because if your business fails, then you can lose everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when people write bad reviews like that, it knocks you down on Google. It knocks you down on Yelp. It makes some people like, because when you're looking for say you're looking for a new restaurant, and you see like one bad
that's
review,
what you look for.
You're looking for.
Not all the good ones. No,
you
absolutely.
See why and that's for everything. We're like, all right, well, there's got to be a bad review somewhere,
right?
And you're going to find it.
Yeah.
You know.
So so in that same sense, go leave good reviews if you had a good experience.
Yes.
Make sure you do that.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, not every business is going to make it. We know that.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be the person that, just because you had a bad day or you just want to be an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
Yeah. Absolutely. No.
So
no.
There's a lot of them out there. Like, I had a 1-star review because the business hours were wrong on Yelp.
Yeah. So
they were an hour off on Yelp, and we did not know that it was an hour off on Yelp. Yeah. And they wrote me a 1-star review because of that.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
And that's just somebody that just
mind.
And that's just because you have 10,000 things to think of in your head.
Yeah.
And it didn't occur to you.
There's going to be things that slip through the cracks. And that's just somebody who probably got there at a certain time and it wasn't open. It just closed.
Yeah.
So come on.
And you know what it probably was? It was probably they were probably procrastinating and were late to a birthday party, and they're like, I got to stop last minute and get some macaroons.
Yeah, exactly.
No, those people, like, you get a lot of them like that. Just don't leave them a bad review. If you have a bad experience, call the business owner. And if the business owner is nasty to you, then do your thing on like Yelp and Google. But if they're not and they try everything, because I always like went above and beyond for my customers. Like, I've literally bought gift cards to dinners for people for if I messed up their cake in any way or their order was misplaced something. I have done whatever I could to make it right with them. So business owners, make sure you make it right with your customers, even though sometimes I know it sucks getting screamed at the top of their lungs at you. Try to make it right with them, because these people could literally just take you down, because you see those people who are angry and upset and they have their entire families leave you a bad review, even though their families have not been to your business.
Right. Yeah, they'll just have people say something. So you have to have thick skin.
Yeah, you do.
You have to. And not only that, but you got staff who you basically have their livelihoods in your hand.
That was my biggest worry because I had, so during the time that I had the bakery, 6 of my employees were pregnant. And this was all like within a few months of each other. Every time I turned around, someone was coming in and telling me they're pregnant. I'm like, oh my God.
How could you keep stocking? They were eating all those pastries.
Yes, and like it's in the cupcakes. Like, literally, when I moved it to Greece, I had like a couple of my girls like literally had their babies strapped to them, and they're
Wow.
working 15-hour days. I had one girl that was like, she was like 7 months pregnant when she was working. So we had like bassinets, or what are those things? Playpens in the bakery in the back, the little swings. We had a daycare in the back of there.
But that tells me that they respected you, they liked you, because they didn't have to do that.
No,
you know what I'm saying? They knew that it would help out.
Yeah.
And it would be the best chance. So you're not going to get that.
No, so that's the hardest part. Is having people like that working.
That's crazy, and that's amazing.
How easy is it to go? Oh, I'm pregnant, or oh, I just had a baby, and just
and you wouldn't even be mad at me. I get it.
Yeah.
You know, like there's nothing I can do about that.
No.
But yeah, no, that's awesome.
And that says a lot about you.
You ain't going to find that at a big corporation.
Right.
No. I did whatever I could. I would give them my last penny. They know they would.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I loved my employees.
And that's awesome.
Yeah, it shows.
Not everybody can say that.
If I got a crappy boss, I'm not.
No, exactly. No,
I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm not going to work that hard.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Right.
You know.
Right.
I mean, I've worked at some places where the bosses were like, they're horrible. Like small businesses, like you get those bosses, and I get why they get to that, but they're a bit bitter at some point. But I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to be that kind of boss.
Right. Well, because they're the driving force of your business. You know, you have to remember that. And I mean, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but they're the ones doing it alive.
Yeah, they're keeping it alive. They made my dream. A reality.
Yes. And a lot of people don't think about that part of it.
No.
You know, they don't think about that.
So much on your own.
Right.
And then you rely on those people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just have a quick question about, so you didn't have, before you went to like Wamoco for all this, you had like no experience?
I had some. So my mom actually was the baker in my family. It's so funny because my great aunt, I'm named after her. My middle name's named after her. She was the baker in the family. And then she passed it on to my mom. And my mom used to make like cookies and cakes out of the house.
Yeah.
And I remember watching her, and I'm like, oh, I could totally do that. She made like my aunt's wedding cake when I was like 10. And I remember watching her just making this cake. And I'm like, I think I could do that.
Yeah.
It was funny because when I was little, I wanted to be an art teacher, and I also wanted to work in a chocolate factory.
Oh.
So like essentially like I put them together.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. I do not
How many people can say that?
Ability like that.
Well, those two things, you would think a normal kid says that to you, like, yeah, okay, whatever. And you did it.
Yeah, I did it.
Yep.
Like, that's kind of crazy. That's awesome.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. So, so continue with something delicious.
After the bakery, I got really tired of owning a business. It was really stressful. It was just draining. I wasn't like physically and mentally, it was not doing well because it's just, like I said, like I always put my employees first, and I wasn't putting myself first. And so finally I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to sell it. So there was, I want to say it was on LinkedIn. I saw that the University of Rochester was hiring, and I'm like, let me just put my resume in. Let's just see what happens. They called me. I want to say I put this in on like Monday or Sunday. On Tuesday, they called me. Like, hey, do you want to come and interview? And like I told my employees, I was like, oh, I'm going to go over for this interview. Oh, you guys, don't worry about it. Nothing will probably happen. And then I went there on Thursday. Friday morning at 7:30 in the morning, I got offered the job.
Wow.
And and this was Thanksgiving week, I want to say. And that's normally like it's a busy week for us.
Yeah.
So I got offered the position. I walked into the shop and I was like, okay, guys, I got offered the job. And I'm sorry, I love you all so much, but I have to worry about me. They knew that it was going to be coming soon because I was talking about selling the business or closing it because it just became so much. It wasn't like the business was really successful, but I was there every day.
It wasn't worth it to you.
No, it wasn't worth it to me anymore.
Yeah, and that's not. Yeah.
It brought me to where I needed to be. Yeah. But it wasn't worth it to me anymore.
Yeah.
So now I have been the pastry chef at the University of Rochester for 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
And what's that schedule like? How's that over there?
So, oh my God, it's crazy. So it's like I work Monday through Friday. which was like a big plus for me. Sometimes I work the weekend, sometimes I work nights, but most of the time it's 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. I do have, like, we're getting towards the end of the semester. This week is the last week in the semester. So the last few weeks I've been working really long days. And it's only because it's basically we have, like, all of these, like, little events and stuff coming up for the students. Because the seniors, like, last year they didn't get to have their special things. So this year the seniors are getting all of, like, the things that they didn't get to have last year. So it's been, like, a lot of hours. But during the summer, everyone's gone, and we just have, like, a couple of events. So I'll be working lighter hours. I'll be working Monday through Friday. Nice. I'll be working 8 hours. Maybe I'll be working 8 hours.
Yeah.
And I get to, like, practice different recipes. I get to, like, make different things and just kind of, like, enjoy the summers versus before I could not.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So much more structure and
which I like, because I've always been more of, like, a person that just likes to work.
Right.
Versus a person that like runs the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at that. I know how to do it, but I'd rather just, like, sit there and, like, pound out cakes and cookies all day.
Right.
So is this a job that you think you could have gotten without owning the business?
I don't think I could have.
No?
Okay. I don't think I could have. Because I think they were looking for someone that owned a
somebody
business,
who can run...
who knows how to run
Yep.
their pastry program.
Okay.
Wow.
That's that right there.
Yeah.
Is worth it.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
It was worth it. I mean, the bakery brought me a lot of good things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so without getting too specific, was there anybody that, like, held a grudge, like, when you closed, or?
When I closed, no, everyone.
No?
So when I sold the bakery, one of my closest employees, like, when she found out that I was leaving, essentially, she was like, I'm just going to get a job someplace else. But you get that at bakeries when this stuff kind of happens. And then a couple of my employees stayed back, and some of them still work there. So I have some of my original people still work at the bakery now.
That's cool.
And then I go in once in a while, and, like, I'll stop in to say hi, and I'm like, oh, if you need help with cake, I'll help you, and I'll help them with cakes.
That's awesome.
That's all I was going to say. I see that
before. Like, when we first sold, I was there a lot more. Now it's kind of like, oh, let's see what the girls are doing, and then I'll swing in there if I got out of work early. And like, hey, do you guys need help?
That's awesome. So you're real close with the people you sold it to.
Well, that's all. You go there and help. I mean, who's doing that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They're wonderful. The new owners are great. They're young and they're just full of energy, and I'm like, I love this because I was you when I first opened it, and now I'm like me now, and I'm like, I can't do it.
Did they keep the same name?
They did. They kept everything the same. I sold them the recipes and everything.
Nice.
Wow. So, that's awesome. And still on Ridgeway.
Yeah, still on Ridgeway next to the
Cool. Perfect. The one thing I was going to ask about the whole summer thing. So how's that work? Is there still students there
because of COVID, there are going to be students that are still there because we do have a lot of international students. So a lot of them really can't, like, we have some students that are from India, and India, as we know, is, like, the epicenter right now.
Yeah.
So a lot of them can't go back home, really.
Okay.
But during the summer, it's typically, like, they do a lot of summer camps and stuff there.
Oh, okay.
Normally.
Right.
But this summer, I'm not sure exactly how
kind of see how it goes.
Yeah. Everything's always just, like, playing it by ear. Let's see how vaccinations are going. Let's see how numbers are going as far as COVID. So it's just like it's a waiting game, as I think it is for pretty much any industry right now.
Yeah.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you on main campus or River?
I think I'm on River
campus. Okay.
I still don't know it. Like, I know where I work.
Yeah.
I know where I have to park and where I have to walk to. I know a couple of the other.
We might have to edit that part out so that any stalkers don't come and visit you at work.
Don't do that.
We might cut that part out. There's a lot of crazies out there.
Yes.
No, but that's cool. The atmosphere's got to be pretty nice there and pretty fun. So that's where you are now?
Yes.
So let's get into, like, some of the other fun things in your resume. Let's start at the beginning of
fun things in your resume. Okay. So in 2017, I had the bakery for a couple of years. I watched Food Network. I've been watching it since I was a little girl. And there was a show called Bakers versus Fakers on there, and they had, like, posted after the show. ended, because I was like binge watching it, because at that point we didn't have with like the TV streaming services, there was only like 10 channels at that time that they had to offer.
Yeah.
One of them was Food Network, and so I would just sit there and watch Food Network when I got home from work. And they had posted that they were looking for people to go to this website. So I was like, okay. So I put my application in, and 2 weeks later I got a call to be on Bakers versus Bakers. I was not expecting it at all.
Just killing these
offers. I was like, okay. So I went down to New Jersey, and I filmed Bakers versus Bakers in Buddy Vlastro's warehouse.
Oh, wow.
Which was really, really cool. He used to be the old host of it, and then they changed the host of it. But I was like super, super excited, because like, and I was really nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know how my mouth is. I know how my mouth is. And I also am like, okay, what am I going up against? Because like, these are people who are like across the country, and they like, they really get in depth with the interviews. They make sure you know what you're doing. So I was really nervous. But it was a lot of fun. I made it to the final round with that one. I got accused of cheating.
That was what I was going to ask you about.
Accused of cheating?
Accused of cheating. So I walked up. So the thing is, it's reality television. You have to think if they need drama.
Oh, yeah.
So I walked up to the microwave. It was off. I opened it up, and there was a couple of potatoes in there. I was like, why are there potatoes in the microwave? It didn't really click in my brain. I thought maybe someone had left it from the previous show that they did, because they were filming these just back to back. So I just figured maybe they just left them in there. And then I said out loud, why are these potatoes in here? Whose potatoes are these? And no one said anything. So I was just like, whatever. So I took them out. I put them on the rack, and then I put my ganache in there. And the girl was like, oh, those are mine. I'm like, okay, well, I can put them back in for you after my stuff's done. Because the microwave was off, and potatoes in there, whatever. Yeah. She took my stuff out, and she put her potatoes back in, and I didn't think anything of it. Thought everything was fine. It aired. Apparently, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
Infamous microwave drama.
They called it Sweet Potato Gate, because they made it to seem like it was so much bigger. It really wasn't. It was just like a mistake, I guess, on my part. What I should have done, now I think of it back to it, I'm like, I should have just made freaking ganache on the stove, and it would have been done deal. It would have been easy. Right. But I was just trying to be quick about it, because we only had 45 minutes. Yeah. But at the same time, I look back at it, and I don't want to like badmouth. I never want to badmouth another woman. But I'm like, why did you put potatoes in a microwave? You have 45 minutes. We had they gave us boiling water on the stove. All she had to do was freaking throw them in there.
So they were saying that you...
They were just trying to say like a sabotage.
Oh, okay. I got you now.
Mina, the sabotage artist.
Like, ever since then, I've been like somewhat of the villain asshole.
So every time you use your microwave at home, do you have flashbacks?
Like at bakery.
Are you like, oh my God.
We gotta get in and just put potatoes in there.
Yeah.
Whenever I see sweet potatoes, that's when I get the... Like, I love sweet potatoes too, and I have like a really hard time with them now, because her friends called me, and they were like attacking me on social media. And then I had random people, like even now it airs randomly on like the cooking channel and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'll get random people messaging me, telling me that I cheated. I had someone call a bakery telling me that I'm a cheater. I was like, oh my God.
So crazy.
I'm like, you don't know. And then like I emailed the girl, I'm like, I just want you to know, like, hey, I didn't do this on purpose. It wasn't trying to be malicious or mean. She's like, no, I understand, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, tell your friends to take down the nasty things they wrote about me, because if you understand, then they need to understand too.
Exactly. Yeah. Damn. People are...
Well, they gotta have a villain. I mean, it's drama. That's perfect for them. Yeah. I loved it.
And I don't mind it, because like, I'm really nice. So everyone knows, like, anyone that knows me knows that I'm really nice. But I do have a mouth on me, and I'm always like, Shauna Delahanty, Thomas now, when she was getting married, she's like, I can always count on you, Mina, to tell me the honest truth about like how I look or whatever. I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. So.
Right. We all need that friend, you know?
So I have that bluntness about me, but I am also, I'll do anything for my friends or my family.
So you would, if somebody on their wedding day wasn't looking too hot, you'd just straight up say to them, listen. You need to get up in there.
It depends on how close I am with them.
Okay. All right. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Takes a certain bond.
You need to second guess this one. All right.
You couldn't lose a few more pounds?
I would never do that to someone. Never, ever.
I was talking more like makeup and hair, but
Makeup
yeah,
and hair,
yeah.
no, not body.
Jump in the sauna real quick, sweat a few pounds.
No.
That's funny. All right, so you made it through that one.
I made it through that one. And then the second one that I was on, that one I got called for. Because so when they like you, and like you go on one, and if they like you, they'll keep calling you back.
Yeah.
So the second one that I did was Girl Scout Cookie Championship. And this one sucked hard. Because with having Crohn's, what it's like. So I was in the middle of a flare when I went down there.
Oh.
I was in like this horrible pain filming, like ridiculous amount of pain. And I was just trying to push through. And I'm like, so there's like a 2-day filming thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like the first day I was just sitting there and I had taken all of my stomach medication. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I can do this today. I'm like, I'm going to puke or pass out. It's going to be one of the two. I don't think I can do it. So I was just like, no, you just got to push through it. Because it was $10,000 for the prize.
Oh.
Or they did like an outdoor adventure, but they ended up giving like $10,000 for the prize.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can do this. And so I pushed through the day. And then they're like, okay, you have to, during filming, they brought us to this place in Jersey City where they set up like a bunch of different stations and they had people come up and like taste your stuff and vote for which one they liked the most. I was like hunched over and it was September, so it was pretty warm down there. It was like 80, 85. Like hunched over in pain. And the producers, I could hear them. They're like, Mina's not looking too good. I'm like, can you just give me something to drink, please? Just something to drink and something to eat because I'm not okay.
Yeah.
So after that, like, we got back to the studio and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to make it a second day. I don't think I can do it because I was telling my castmates, I don't think I can do it. And I was like standing there when they were announcing who was getting booted off. I'm like, please say my name. Please say my name. And then they said my name. I was like, okay, bye.
Oh, wow.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I know I would have crushed it in the second round as a cake round. And we had 4 hours to make a 2-tier cake, which is literally nothing for me.
Right.
So I wanted to get to that second round, but my body was just like, nope.
Yeah, anyone with intestinal issues, digestive issues, that's
horrible
joke. No joke. It's nothing is worth the pain at that point, you know.
That second round was like your forte, like what you.
I would have crushed the second round.
Oh, that's just bad timing.
Yeah.
It's just
at that point you just gotta hope.
Yeah,
that's why things happen.
Happen for a reason.
It's funny because afterwards, like me and my castmates, this show I became friends with my castmates, and I text all of them like, "You guys are so lucky that I was not." Did not bring my A game because otherwise I'd have crushed you all in the cake round. And they're like, how? I mean, I'm like, no. I don't think you understand because like I saw their cakes and it's not that they weren't bad. They had 4 hours to do them. But I know what I can do in 4 hours because I mean, I literally can pull cakes out of nowhere. I did it with the chocolate ball cake a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I can do it. So that's why I like had a lot of confidence in myself for that one. But no.
This is why you had your bakery?
Yeah.
During? Okay.
And that part sucked too because I had to leave both times I leave the bakery to my employees. And I want to say someone's grandma was in the hospital. Like I was getting calls that someone's grandma was in the hospital. They had to close the bakery for a few hours because they didn't have coverage. I'm like, oh my God.
It's always the worst times.
So that always, I'm guessing that's not going to help your flare up.
No.
The stress and all that.
Stress. Me and my husband, we were driving back home and I was like, oh my God. I think this is horrible. Like this is like worst. Everything is worst case scenario today.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was happy that I did that because I met some incredible people from it.
Yeah.
Which it also brought me to going on Holiday Wars. I was on Holiday Wars when did it start? It started in November. And I flew out to LA. We were the first show to film in Hollywood. We were they told us that we were the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
So all of the shows you guys have watched during COVID, just know that Holiday Wars and I think we were the first ones. Candyland 2 was there. But we were the first ones and we were the test runs for everyone.
Yeah, right in Hollywood.
Right in Hollywood. We were the guinea pigs. So for that one it was different because it was a month long and it was 2 weeks of quarantine. we had to like quarantine at home for a week, which I didn't do because I had to work.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
During quarantine, I think everyone pretty much did the same thing. I just went to work and home, and that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything else. I didn't see anyone else. So, during that time, you had to get a COVID test, and I had my first COVID test, and I was just like, everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's gonna be so bad," and I got it, and I was like, "Oh, it was nothing. I thought it was gonna be really bad."
Was it the one that goes? Was it the long floppy one?
Tickle your brain with.
Yeah, and that one didn't bother you?
No, I just felt like I just needed.
Now I really feel like a baby because I was like, "Oh my God, my eyeball! I got a headache. What am I?"
Oh my God, I've heard so many people say that. I'm like, no, I just literally I just felt like I had a sneeze.
Yeah, it looks pain. I mean, I've seen videos. It looks painful. I've never gotten it, but
it's flimsy.
Yeah, it's like a foot long.
Yeah,
it's like flimsy with a little tickler on the end. The first time I had to get one, it was a drive-through on Long Island, and she goes, "Okay, pull your mask down." She opened that thing up. I was like, "You're gonna shove that thing up my nose?" I was like, "Oh my!"
Would you think she was kidding?
I had no. Well, I didn't know what I didn't know what to expect. I never had one.
Yeah.
She pulls. I'm like, "Geez, that's long," and she tells you to tilt your head back, and it feels like she doesn't stop sliding it up there. I'm like, "Jeez."
Yeah.
Until you feel this burn in the back of your eyeball. Mm-hmm. So when you say, "Oh, it was nothing,"
it was. Like, I felt like I was going to sneeze, and like that was it. But then when we got there, we started having COVID tests every other day. So I had 14 COVID tests altogether.
Right. Jeez. So you're professional now.
Yeah. It really wasn't that bad. Some of the days were a little bit rougher because it was first thing in the morning.
Okay.
And it kind of gets gag reflex a little bit. So you're just like in there like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, I got it. Don't worry, I'm fine.
Johnny doesn't have a gag reflex.
No. Everybody knows that. Yeah, I do this for fun. He does now.
Watch out now. So 14 tests.
14 tests.
Jesus. And how'd that show go?
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it from being, even though I was quarantined, like we couldn't leave the hotel. So it was hotel and studio, and that was it. They had us in a bubble. So we weren't allowed to leave the hotel. There were some days where you couldn't leave the room. They'd be like, okay, you have to stay in your room.
Wow.
And like that was it. We couldn't be with our teammates. We couldn't really be around each other unless we were masked. And then once we started really getting into it, we were allowed to be around each other a little bit more.
Right.
It was a lot of fun. I loved it. I loved every second of it because it was just like relaxing. Because like that last year was really rough because my mom had passed away like right before I got a call to come into the filming. And then with COVID and everything and just being like, dealing with the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like this was like a nice break away. Other than having to like work, you're working 10 to 12 hour days, sometimes longer, sometimes like 15 hours, I want to say.
What time do you start your day there?
So it depends on what day. So we have prep days and then we have film days. Prep days, you start at like 9:30, and then you can do like 8 to 10 hours. And then film days they start at 7. And then I would get up at 5 to get ready. So they don't do your hair and makeup for you or anything. So you have to do all of that.
Oh, okay.
So, and then you have to make sure like all your clothes are ready to go. So from like, I get up around like 5:30, and then you have to load up the vans with all of your stuff because you have to bring your own equipment and bring all your own stuff. So we had to load them up at 6:30 and be at studio at 7, and you start shooting like pretty much right away. And then you're shooting from 7 a.m. until 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Wow. Yeah. That's rough.
That's a long day.
So a lot of people were like, oh, you had a vacation, you were gone for a month. I was like, no. No. And then when we were on our prep days, the room that they had us prepping in, it was really hot in there. And we were also in full PPE. So we had to have a mask on, and you had goggles on, and then some people had to wear a shield too.
Really?
And then some people had to wear gowns too.
Wow. Yeah. No joke. No joke.
Like I said, we were the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
They were just
they weren't going to play any games. Yeah, they wanted it to work.
So I wanted to ask about Holiday Wars. I remember watching that and thinking like how hard it must be to work with different people that you don't work with regularly, trying to the tasks you guys had, trying to put each one of your skills and talents together, and like, how hard is that to blend your skills with other people that you don't normally work with, especially in a competition sense?
It was really hard. I loved my teammates. We're all really weird and very dark people. Like,
that makes it fun.
It was interesting because everyone was just like, everyone had their own like personalities and stuff like that. And like a lot of the people I was castmates with, they were really like bubbly and friendly, and like us were like, let's make a freaking person tied up in a corner. And I mean, obviously then that stuff didn't make it onto air, but like we wanted to do like weird stuff, out of the box stuff.
Yeah.
But the crappy thing about being on a team with people that you don't know is that you don't know their skill levels. You don't know how fast they can do things.
Right.
You don't know how they are under pressure. On the shows, it makes it seem like you just met these people, but you haven't. You obviously, because of quarantine, you met them before, and you're trying to like work with them and figure things out and what to do. So that part was really hard because it was kind of like, I had like a phenomenal cake artist on there with me. Her faces and all the stuff that she does is incredible, but she's like, hey guys, it takes me a while to make that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then I had another girl, she was a little bit newer at doing cakes. She's like, this is what I'm strong at and this is what I can do. And then our sugar artist was actually a chocolatier, so he wasn't really familiar with doing sugar work. He's done it, but he wasn't like some of the other sugar artists on the show. Like we had one sugar artist, his name was Julian, was like, he's amazing at doing sugar work, like phenomenal. But you also had other ones that have never done it before and just kind of, they're like, we need a sugar artist, and you said you did a little bit in culinary school, so here.
Oh wow. Damn.
So that stuff was hard. If I had to do it all over again and they allowed me to bring people in, I'd rather have brought my own team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 1,000%.
Yeah.
I love those people, but I'd rather have picked my own team. Because I know like my cake people, the people that I've worked with in the past, I know what they can do, and I know what they can do under pressure. But like with other people, with new people, like it's hard because you don't know. Because me, I'm just like, okay, what can we do to fix this? Come on, let's do this. Like they didn't show it, but in one of the episodes, our Santa was falling apart. And the girls are like, okay, get the dowel and the dowel cutters. We had 30 seconds. I'm like, give me the damn dowel. And I freaking was breaking that shit on my knee and just shoving it in there, and it held up.
Wow.
But like a lot of people don't think like, oh, I can just freaking break this. My hand's a little dowel.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And like, oh, let's get the dowel color. And I'm like, no, fuck that. Grab the dowels and break them.
Yeah.
Get in there and let's get it done.
Quick thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, you can try. I mean, you bring your own crew. You can trust them.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about what you have them doing.
Yeah. Everyone knows.
But that's probably part of the show.
Yeah.
Like
trying to get people.
Who knows? Yeah. You're doing your thing, not even thinking about.
Yeah.
This person could be struggling.
And that happened several times on this show.
Yeah.
Because like we all, I want to say it was the third episode. We're all like, okay. We all assigned everyone to something. We're like, okay, this person can do this person can do that, and this person can do this. The one girl that was on my team, she did, what's it called? She did the turkey, and she was not feeling good that morning. And she didn't yell out, hey guys, I need help. And I was just making a pumpkin and a knife, and I was
right in your zone.
And I was done.
Yeah.
And she didn't yell out that she needed help, and it sucked because we ended up losing that challenge that day because she didn't say I need help. I was done, and I was just making extra things to kind of go along with it.
Yeah. Does it? I mean, I got to think in a situation like that, you don't want to seem like you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, does that have something to do with like, oh man,
You don't. For me, I'd rather be like, I need help.
Right. Yeah.
Versus, oh, I got it, and you don't have it.
Then you don't. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because in the end, it's going to be way worse.
Use your team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. So, what's next for Mina? What is next?
What's next for Mina? Mina, I got another thing coming up. I'm not allowed to talk about it, but just know I have another thing coming up. I did the chocolate ball, and that airs. I don't know when you guys are going to be putting this out there, but it airs on May 10th on Channel 13. And you get to vote for which cake you like the best. So I know that my cake was pretty bomb, but I know there's someone out there. Her cake was pretty phenomenal.
So for people who don't know, what's the chocolate ball?
So chocolate ball is for it. Used to be just for epilepsy, but it's for like any families that have like children with disabilities, with illnesses. Just basically like I think they do stuff with veterans now. They're just basically just there to help the community. Like I have a friend who has a child with disabilities, and she goes through EPI to get services to help with with speech therapy and stuff like that. So every year I do the chocolate ball, and I make a cake. The chocolate ball is normally like at like the Hyatt, and you go in there and you taste cake. So like before dinner or anything, everyone's walking around drinking champagne and trying different cakes. Oof. And they vote on which cake they like the best, but we also have judges that come in and they judge your cake on like the aesthetic, how it looks, how it tastes. Like literally they have like a guideline, like, okay, is the sponge like really crummy, or is it really good? Is it dense? Is it light? So they have the actual judges doing that, but they also have like People's Choice Award where the people walk around and they vote which cake they like the best.
Oh, okay.
But with that, they auction off your cakes. So we're talking about people who have a lot of money and who want to give. So they auction off the cakes in the ballroom. And that part's kind of like nerve-wracking. I think the most nerve-wracking, because this is your work that you put out there. And you're like, oh my God, are people going to buy this? So last chocolate ball, the last one they had, and we were able to do it in 2020. Yeah. So we did it in 2020. My cake auctioned off for the highest it ever auctioned off in history. And I think the chocolate ball was going on for 35 years or 36 years, something like that. It sold for $4,100. And then a guy at the chocolate ball matched that. So it ended up selling for $8,200.
Oh.
And it was, so with each, like for every like $1,000, I want to say, that we can send a kid to camp with.
Oh, wow.
So I was able, with my cake, I was able to send 8 kids to camp with that.
That is cool.
And like when they're sending kids to like the summer camps, they're not only sending the kids with disabilities, they're sending their siblings too.
Oh, wow.
So.
Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I feel like not enough people know about that.
No, and I feel like they should, because it's literally, there's a lot of people that go to it, but it's probably my favorite gala I've ever been to, because I've been to a whole bunch, but that one's my favorite.
I mean, I would absolutely buy tickets to drink champagne and taste cake.
Oh, 100%. I can't think of anything better than that, actually.
I'll donate some money to do that.
100%.
That is awesome. So was that, I don't know if I remember correctly, was that the cake that had like the slice in it with the crystals?
So the Geo cakes look like vaginas, everyone. Like, we're going to put that out there.
Okay.
But it was a Geo cake, and it was a mermaid. So it was under the sea theme, right? It was under the sea. And everyone else did like an octopus and like all like things that you would think of like in a shipwreck. And me, I'm like, oh, Little Mermaid. So I did like mermaids, and they actually liked it. And I ended up winning the whole thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I remember seeing that. That was pretty sick.
Shocked. I was so with the chocolate ball, I've been doing it since 2015. And the first year I did, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. My cake was in rough shape. It was pretty rough. After that, me and my team, we would start at like Monday, and the chocolate ball was on Saturday. We started on Monday. And I had there'd be like 3 or 4 of us working on this cake. That year was the first year I did it by myself without anyone. It was my first year at U of R. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to impress these people. These are my new bosses. They bought a table for everyone to go to it.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, oh my God. And like when my cake was done, I was really proud of it. But like there's a couple bakeries that like I'm always like, okay, what are they going to do? Because I know them, and I know they're going to just like bring their A game. And then when I brought my cake in, I was really impressed with my cake, but I was also impressed with everyone else's work. So when they leave your scorecards out, and so I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, I had really good numbers. I'm like, damn, like, okay, I did good.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to win.
Right.
And then when they like announced, they do runner-up for best taste, runner-up for best showpiece, and then they want to say overall winner. So the grand prize winner and People's Choice. I won runner-up for best taste. I won best showpiece, and then I won grand prize. overall. And I was like shocked because like all my bosses are sitting at a table and I was just like, oh my God, look at that.
Yeah.
Running the board. I know. How proud do they got to be?
I know,
That's our girl.
Yep.
Jesus.
We made the right decision.
Yeah.
Yep.
No kidding. So, so you got you're working on something now, which obviously we're not going to get into. But we'll stay excited now that we know.
Yeah.
So without getting into specifics, when you go on these shows, I know obviously you're competing for a prize, but when you're like putting your life on hold and going out there and filming, are you getting paid anything when you're doing this?
You have to, so they pay you like a per diem to do them.
Okay.
Which is nice because it's kind of like, it's basically like, hey, thanks for like taking the time to come out.
Right.
It's not like a ton, but it's, it's something. But like the more and more, like I know a lot of other like contestants or competitors now, they get, the more and more you're on them, the more and more you can start getting paid to go on them. Yep. They start asking you and paying you to go on them. So. Yeah.
I was just curious because it's like, man, you gotta put your life on hold and stop making money doing what you're doing.
It was hard for that month because I know if I had the business, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Right.
There's no way.
Right.
There's no way. I couldn't have left for that long.
Yeah, definitely.
Like flights and...
They pay for your flights, your food, your room.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So that helps. That helps.
You're taken care of, like, in that sense. But as far as, like, compensation, you get paid a per diem to do it.
Okay. All right. I gotcha.
Wow. Very awesome. Mm-hmm. So I guess I was kind of curious to go back just because like I had my own business for a while too, so I can kind of relate on certain levels. But like what were some of the biggest struggles that you had trying to start your business? Like going from deciding you didn't want to work anymore, you wanted to start your own thing. What was that like?
I knew the one bakery that I worked at, I was there for, I want to say I was there for like 2 years before I opened the bakery. Watching this woman and like how she was a new business owner too, and watching her work and how she did it, I was like, you know what, I think I could do this too. Like I knew that I want to. It was always something I always wanted to do, but I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to just dive into it and do it myself. What finally kind of brought me to that point, I don't want to I'm not going to get dark, but something had happened to me in 2014, and after that, something snapped in me and was like, okay, I need to do what I want with my life. I need to go for the goals that I've had, because that thing that happened to me scared me so bad. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I could die tomorrow and not have achieved my dream. So after that happened to me, I was like, all right, I'm just going to do it. Screw it.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's what a lot of times it takes, something traumatic just to like change our whole way of thinking and like really deciding to enjoy, buckle down and do what you want to do with your life.
Right.
It's a lot of work. How did you decide like where you wanted to get your place, how you were going to do that? Like,
it was super random. So I wanted to be in the South Wedge. I'm like, no, I don't know why I always love the South Wedge. It fits me well because South Wedge is kind of weird. And I love everything about, like, have like Lux down there, and then they have Hedonist Chocolate, and then Premier Pastries down there too. At the time, who else was down there? I think it was like the Mise en Place. They were down there, and there was like a barbecue joint too. I wanted to be over there because I knew that like my style would fit in over in that area. So I was just looking at Craigslist for places to rent, and I came up with the place on South Ave, and I noticed they were right across the street from the El Siegel Center, and they were also right, literally Lilac Festival's right there.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, that can bring in a lot of business. Like, let me just go look. And I do things without telling anyone. I just go and do it. So I went there, and I was just like, hey, like, how much would it be a month? And like, what do I need to do to get this going? I didn't look at anywhere else. They were actually doing construction on it. It used to be like, it was like an insurance place before. So I had to put an entire kitchen in there.
Wow.
And when I did not think ahead of time. I did not think about it. I was just like, screw it. Here's the money. Here's my signature on the lease. And I'm just going to do it.
Yep.
And then then the construction started. So we started construction, I would say, in like January or February. It was supposed to be done in March, and it wasn't done until I opened it up at the end of April. So this was like months and months and months of them doing construction and just taking forever. And I'm like, as this is going, I am running out of money.
Right.
I'm running out of money, and I'm like, how am I, I need to open now. So basically the week that I opened, I had like $1,000 left in my account. And I'm like, and rent was due May 1st. So I opened on like April 25th. Rent was due May 1st. Rent was like $1,400 at that time. It went up after I expanded.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. So luckily, the grand opening was a success, and then Lilac Festival hit right after. Huge. And I wasn't expecting that much,
right.
Like how busy it was during Lilac Festival. So after that, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to be okay. And you have months where you struggle really bad, and you have months where you do really, really well.
Right.
And then I started getting into wedding. I didn't want to do weddings because I know how brides are.
Yeah.
And that scared me because I was super worried. But now, after doing weddings for so long, it's not the brides, it's their moms.
I can see that all day.
Mother of the bride.
Yeah. It came to a point when I moved into Greece where I was like, you know what? I don't want, pretty much I was trying to steer people away from bringing their parents in.
Yeah.
So I'd tell them it could only be them and their significant other, or them and one other person.
Yeah, perfect.
So kind of narrowed it down, but people were they'd bring in their whole family for a cake tasting. And I'm like, dude, no.
Because a lot of times, the parents will pay.
Yeah.
So they feel like
they're obligated to be there.
It still should be the decision of the bride and groom.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
what matters.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. You
wouldn't believe how the parents are bad. I'm paying for the cake, so I have to stay, and they'd be sitting there fighting with each other in front of me. I'm like,
awkward.
Okay, go on the back,
Exactly. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah,
and then,
you guys can discuss this, and then we can. I'll come back up front. But I've had a lot of them where they haven't come in with their mom, and their mom calls and they're like, my daughter's wedding cake. This happened before I changed my contract around, but they're like, my daughter ordered a wedding cake from you. Can I come in? Because I want to do a tasting myself. And I'm like, well, she already put her deposit down. She already picked everything out. But yeah, I can do a tasting with you. And then she'd be like, well, I want this cake. She doesn't know what she's talking about. I'm like, your daughter knows what she's talking about. It's her wedding.
Yeah.
So I've had a couple who literally the bride was just basically like, my mom wants to do this. I'm so sorry. And then they go to a different bakery for their wedding cake. And I'm like, after that, I stopped allowing any of that. So I would have them sign a contract, and the only people who were allowed to discuss the wedding cake with me were the bride and groom. That was it.
Perfect. Yeah, that's
it. Bride and groom, or groom and groom. There's the only people that were allowed to talk to me about a cake.
Yeah.
Right. That's you got to do that.
That's something you can't predict when you open something like that.
You
don't even think about that. I mean,
so many things you just learn as you go.
Right.
You have to.
Yeah, but
you never know.
There are people out there like that.
Yeah.
A lot of them, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine.
And maids of honor, too. You guys need to chill. It's your friend's wedding, not your wedding.
Yeah. Nobody.
I feel like a lot of them just get jealous that it's not their wedding.
I know. Right. All of my friends that got married, I was one of Shauna's maids of honor, and it was basically whatever you guys want, whatever you want, I don't care.
That's how it should be. Yeah, it's their day.
My sisters are all getting ready to get engaged and get married. I'm like, I don't care what you put me in.
Yep.
Just I don't give a shit. Just put me in something, and I just make sure I don't look just make sure I don't look like a hoe or anything. That's all I care. I don't want to look bad, because I've been in a couple of bridesmaid dresses where I'm like, woo, but I don't care. It's their wedding.
Yeah.
And that's I mean, it's their day. Whatever.
Plenty of bridesmaids have been in that position. Man, I don't want to do this. I don't want to look like this. But What are you
mad
gonna
about
do?
the color of the dress or stuff like
there's
that?
some dresses like a lot of them. Everyone's like, "Oh, you can wear them again." And everyone's like, "No."
Where? Where?
Yeah, where?
What am I wearing?
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, where is this getting worn?
I'm like the chick from 27 Dresses because I've
Yeah.
literally been in a million. I've been in so many weddings. I have them all still. I have all the dresses still.
Yeah?
I've been at least 10 weddings. At least. I might
Wow.
be forgetting a couple of them.
Have you done any toasts?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did. So I did a toast for Shauna's wedding, and then my sister-in-law, when she got married, she had 2 maids of honor too, and so it was me and her best friend from growing up. And have you guys seen Bridesmaids?
Yes.
So we reenacted that toast.
Oh, okay.
You know,
That's
like,
cool. Yeah.
It's like super awkward.
Yep.
And like some of the people didn't
get it.
They didn't get it. And
Right.
I was like, oh my God, these bitches are about to brawl.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. Oh my God. I wish we had a video of it, but it was hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
Shauna's was more like we grew up together, so
Yeah.
it was a
kinda
little more
from the
sentimental.
heart,
Yeah,
yeah.
from the heart, but Mina style. Like
Yeah.
Jay's mom was like, she told me she had a dream where she's worried that I'm gonna get up there and say, I fucking love you guys. Cheers. And I'm like, I cannot say that. Snatch it out of there.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
She knew it.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's awesome. All right, so I guess one of the last things I want to ask you is, what do you have any bad qualities in your baking thing, like weaknesses, whether it was running your business, things you do now,
Something you'd like to get better at.
Yeah.
Basically.
Because all
think
right
really
now I see is I'm like, Jesus, is what can't she
time
do?
management, because I feel like I work really hard and I try to work as fast as possible, but like I get distracted really easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like at U of R, like I work between like commissary and Douglas, so I'll be downstairs in Douglas for hours on end and not even realize it, helping out dessert station, and I come upstairs and crap, I gotta get all this stuff done. So that's like a bad quality in me. It's like I need to like be able to manage my time a little bit better. As far as my skills, I suck at bread. I suck at bread making.
Really? Yeah.
I am not good at it. I can do it, but it's just, to me, I think it's because it's such a waste of time to me. I love bread.
Mm-hmm.
Love bread. But it's a waste of time to me because you don't make a lot of money off of it. So you're making all these loaves of bread and you're going to sell them for what, $2?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
And bread is so good too.
It is.
Yeah.
I guess
So,
it's
yeah.
a good thing
Yeah.
that you're not that great at it,
No.
or else you'd probably be a fatty eating
Yeah.
bread all day.
Probably.
Yeah.
Eating, oh my God.
Baking it and eating it.
Yeah. It is good stuff though.
That, and then I'm trying to learn how to do sugar. Sugar is like a more of an older thing. Like not a lot of people do it now. I'm trying to learn how to do that so I can like I want to do some cool stuff with that. Like my sister's birthday was yesterday, and she's a big pothead, and I wanted to make her a bong out of sugar, but I'm like, I cannot let my first big sugar attempt to be making this bong, and you can get burned really easy, like
really?
badly,
Yeah.
badly with it, because like they tell you in pastry school, if you're messing with sugar and you get some on your hand, it's literally like hot fucking lava on your hand. So if you get some on your hand, they tell you to just like put it in, like, I think you have like ice water or something next to you. You put it in ice water immediately, or just like try to take it off as quick as possible. Don't flick it up, because if you flick it up, it can hit your face and burn your face too.
Oh,
It's dangerous.
damn.
It's super dangerous.
Oh,
Like I have
you didn't even
friends
think
who have
about
like
that
gashes
stuff.
in their hands. Like during the show, like the sugar artist literally just had like gashes all over them.
It's like hot wax times 1,000.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so how
PPE for
about
that.
how about your strengths? What are some of the things you are just stand out? Are your best things?
Best things. I'm really good at making buttercream cakes. I can make those bitches like nothing.
Mm.
I can live out thanks Wegmans, because at Wegmans you had to make, they had like a time limit on each size cake that you can make, so I would just whip them out. So I'm really good at
Delicious.
buttercream.
Mm.
I'm not a
Yeah.
big fan of fondant, but I can do fondant pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm really good at doing really creepy things. I'm really good at making like brains and like eyeballs and hearts. Just like, gross.
So you're big on Halloween then? Yeah.
I see,
There
I
you
seen
go.
a bunch
Yeah.
of that stuff.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
What was the one that I was like, whoa? The pimple popper one?
Oh yeah, the pimple
I was like, dude.
so awesome. Oh my God,
I saw that. I was like, whoa, that's
crazy.
serious. You got to get like a sponsorship. You got to get on like Dr. Pimple Popper
Oh my
with
God,
that.
I love her.
Do one for her. That would be
crazy.
sick.
I'll even like dye it a little bit green so it looks like green pus. The whole thing. I'll make it like fucking squirt in your face.
Ooh.
A lot of oh yeah, it'd be so great.
Well, we'll have our people call her people and we'll hook that up.
Of course.
We got it like that, you know.
So is that like your favorite time? Halloween?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. Like I have a jack-o'-lantern still in my front yard right now. It's like a brass one I bought from Wendy's. And I have a doormat still out, and I still have some Halloween stuff around my house.
Nice.
Yeah,
a lot of people like
awesome.
leave their Christmas lights up and stuff, but
No, me
the Halloween.
I
That's
just took my Halloween stuff down.
Yeah.
Just took it down. Oh, I have a skeleton hanging out too up front.
Well, all right. Hey.
I do feel like that's probably the more fun of all the holidays.
Yeah.
It is.
You know,
you get candy. Who
You
doesn't
get
love candy?
And you get to dress up as something like.
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. Yeah. When else can you do that? Never.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it just every day, but people would just
not to work.
Weird.
Not to work. You can go to work.
Some people dress up like they're pretending like they know what they do at their job.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So some people do.
True that.
You know.
So, is there any way that you would go back to opening up a business?
Oh, I'm a glutton for punishment. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind opening up a food truck.
Okay.
I actually posted on Facebook the other day. Me and my husband, we were talking the other day, and so I don't know. I feel like such a I don't even know how to call this. Okay, you know, like the Dogecoin or whatever.
Yeah.
I bought Ethereum Classic like 2 years ago, and I bought a whole bunch of them, and it's been like skyrocketing. And I told him, just like, listen, if I wake up tomorrow morning, there's 50 grand in there, I'm like, I'm gonna go buy a food truck. And he's like, all right. He's like, what are you gonna name it? And like, I was just like naming off random things. And then I was just like, you know what? I should name it Moist. Because no one likes that. No one likes the word moist.
I do.
But it's good.
I don't know why.
You know you do.
And then when I say it with my accent, it makes it so much better. But like, I think it's a great name. It's like, one of my coworkers was like, yes, I love one word names. So it could just be like Moist and all like lower caps and then period.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they're like, what is that? And then people would want to go and see what it is and see that it was cupcakes.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
So you do like cupcakes?
I would do cupcakes, cookies, French macarons. I would probably try to see if I can get a couple local bakeries who would want to kind of, like I could buy their product and sell it on the food truck.
Yeah.
Because I'd make my own stuff, but like there's stuff like, I'm really not into like, I don't like doing vegan or gluten-free. I'm not bad at it. It's just not a strong suit of mine to do it.
Right.
I'm the type of person that like all the fat and all like the animal product and baked goods, just how I am.
Yeah.
It was how I was taught. So I would try to maybe get like a couple of bakeries that would be willing to sell their stuff. I'd advertise for them too.
That's good to have because especially nowadays, all the gluten-free stuff and you know, the vegans.
Yeah, you're going to get your share of people that are going to be asking for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I would definitely not right now. I'd definitely do one though.
It's a thought though.
If it's a thought, it's a thought that I wouldn't mind doing. Because you just you pull up, you go to festivals, you do your thing, you sell your stuff, and you go home.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with anyone. But then, like, I can't remember, I was talking to someone, and they're like, oh, you can do birthday parties and graduations, weddings. I'm like, I was just thinking about doing, like, pulling up to a lilac festival. Truck rodeos, just, keep it chill.
Yeah.
Because if you buy, like, the truck outright and you just make the stuff, like I can make it out at the commissary downtown. I don't know if anyone knows about that. If you're interested, it's a kitchen that you can rent hourly, and it's to help people start up their businesses.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I don't know if I would do something like that where I'd rent the space out with them to make the stuff, or just put a kitchen in my house, a separate one.
Right.
To do everything.
Just for that.
I also wouldn't mind doing an edible shop.
Ooh,
yes.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yes. I'll be a taste tester.
Oh my god. I was going to bring you guys edibles, but like I told you, it was my sister's birthday yesterday, and I like didn't make her a cake, and I would have felt really bad if I brought you guys something and I didn't bring her anything.
We'll do another one.
We'll do another. Yeah, for sure.
I will make some like bougie edibles.
What were the ones you said before?
I can do like a French macaron.
Yeah.
The other one
and
though.
Pavlova. Pavlova is like one of my favorite desserts. I hate being like that. I hate being like that person. It's like, oh, I love it because it sounds super foodie. I mean, I am a foodie, but It sounds super foodie, but pavlova is a
so I was saying it wrong. I was saying pavlova. I think.
Pavlova. I was like, it looks like baklava, but pavlova is a meringue. So it's like crunchy on the outside and it's like a chewy marshmallow on the inside, and then you put like fruit and stuff on it, and like you can put fruit on there. You can put like pastry cream on it. And you can put whipped cream. So I was like, I could do something like that and like infuse THC into it.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that.
A second to think about that.
Yeah, seriously.
Or I could do like cute little like mousse mounds for you guys.
What if
mousse mounds?
What if we did a show for it? We record it and we cook them with you.
You can.
Holy shit! She wouldn't want to deal with that.
In her head, she's like, "The hell are we gonna do?" Nope.
I would have to make the butter ahead of time, and then just be
She'd just be watching us like, "Don't do that."
Struggle, and then we eat them after.
Well, yeah, I hope so. I'm just saying we ain't gonna be able to do this shit.
All right, one day I just want to learn how to make something.
I mean, I'll do it.
The easiest thing to make is like Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah.
Literally,
I can eat those all
as
day.
long as you make your can of butter, you take your butter, marshmallows, and I like to do Fruity Pebbles.
Oh,
so you do that, you just mix them all together, and then that's it. It's done.
I never even thought about that.
No, it doesn't take long at all. And those are really good. You could do you could do any cereal.
Yeah.
Any favorite cereal, you can just throw some can of butter in there and call it a day.
Have
you ever done cannolis?
I haven't done cannolis. Well, if you would have to put it in the shell, and then you'd have to deep fry it. You might be able to deep fry it in some canola oil. You could. It could be possibly.
It's possible.
The ricotta filling, the
cheese
filling. You would have to. That's all. It's just powdered sugar and like some vanilla salt. So you have to have something where you can infuse the THC into it.
Wow.
Well, we're gonna leave that one up to you.
Many possibilities.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
You're the expert on that one.
Yeah, we'll have some fun with that.
Yeah.
Do that another time.
I'm down for that.
I want to do candy too.
Candy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's trucks like in New York City. You can go and they got like the suckers, the gummies and stuff like that. You can just walk up to them and
would you do like that on the truck?
I would love to. You know how awesome it would be? Like I would just like have like Snoop Dogg playing and like driving around people's neighborhoods.
That would be so cool.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
You just sit outside like after
the first one up here to do that.
Concerts or something or before.
Oh, I mean, during the Lilac Festival, already literally would just smell like weed, just all like fires. Like when was it Rusted Root? Whenever they played, you knew that it was going to like just straight up smell like weed over there.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be perfect. I just roll up like, hey, you want a cookie?
Oh yeah, my God!
So many possibilities.
It's just crazy to think about that. That's gonna be a possibility, you know.
I know, because it's legal.
And that would be awesome.
I'm happy we get to talk about it.
Yeah,
it's legal now.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like before we go to an event or something, we just stop at the truck. Yeah, let's get 2 brownies and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That's something right there. That would go crazy, I feel like.
Oh,
as long as you were in the right spot.
Yeah.
Be the first one to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Be the first one. You get out there.
You would sell out at the festivals.
Done.
And I thought it was going to be legalized a while ago, and I was waiting because I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to open an edible shop.
Right.
Like, that was like the goal was for me to open an edible shop.
It's fucking perfect for you.
But now, like, after it took so long, and now like I have the job that I have and everything.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I can do it, but I have to like I don't know how much money it's going to cost because when we were looking into it before, it was supposed to be like $100,000 to get your license.
Yeah, that's
really?
the problem about once they make it legal and stuff.
Pay your money.
Yeah, you'd have to get like really good investors to do it like that shit.
Gotta pay your dues.
I just don't see how it would not. I mean,
you would do really well.
I would think.
I'll invest. I'll go in on with
you. You can't eat the product though.
All right.
You can't eat it. You can't get high on your own supply.
Right, that's true. That's true.
Right? If we pay, we can, right?
You can if you pay for it.
Let's do that.
But if you have like me, I wouldn't eat any of my stuff.
Right.
Yeah, you can't.
Man, you can't
get caught in there.
Money because it's so expensive.
Yeah, especially that. Yeah.
Yep.
And you can like partner up, but you also have to like find the right growing places. You partner up with them, and there's a lot of factors in it. I want to do it. If it becomes a possibility, I want to do it.
Yeah. I feel like, well, kind of like how everything before has happened for you.
Yeah.
Kind of just things got to align. Maybe it will.
Maybe it will.
It'll happen. It'll
Maybe
definitely
it will.
happen. You got too much skill, too much talent for it.
Well, everybody loves the edibles. You can have people who are, expert growers or whatever, and they're just looking for somebody who can make
Yep.
the pastries.
Definitely.
The good shit.
Definitely.
And most of the stuff that I've had is like, obviously it wasn't legal, but it's not like her caliber brownie. It's just somebody at home making a brownie.
stuff.
Can you imagine having like a gourmet brownie
gourmet edibles
with that?
Like a s'mores brownie with like marshmallows and crackers and shit in it.
And it's like delicious too. Oh.
But it's dangerous too.
No, I know, because you can keep fucking eating them. Yeah, that's why you gotta.
Yeah, they'd have to be.
Well, the other thing is they'd have to be. That's the other thing about people doing them is they don't know how much is in certain things. So it has to be kind of regulated.
Yeah,
get crazy.
Well balanced.
Yeah,
because there's one. What is it? There's like a machine that you can buy that can tell you how much you're putting into it.
Right, which is what you need. Yeah.
That's crazy. I'll invest, Mina.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, look, I'm really glad you came on. I think it's really an honor. It's awesome everything you've accomplished, and it's like that's only the half of it so far.
Yeah.
You got a lot going, and like I said, it's inspiring for other people to see how hard you work and what you've accomplished.
And what you can do. You're on television now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're doing this podcast and we get like a few viewers, but you're going to Hollywood.
You just go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I went to Hollywood.
That's crazy.
I went to Hollywood.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
but we
cool.
appreciate it, you coming on here. It's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Yeah.
We definitely got to do it again.
Definitely.
I'll make edibles, and then seriously, you guys need to do one with TJ.
I mean, yeah.
You need to do one because that would probably be your highest viewed one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Facebook loves the TJ and Jordan saga.
Yes.
I
think everybody does. Yep.
Yeah, we got to keep
and
that
I'm
rolling.
Stuck in the middle of it all the time.
Yes, always.
It's an ongoing thing.
I'm in a group chat with TJ and Jordan, and I'm like, do you guys want me to leave this?
Should I leave you guys alone? You guys need your time. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's fun. It's all fun. But definitely thank you again. And man, good luck with that. With whatever you got going now. Everyone obviously is going to be looking and waiting.
Everybody be on the lookout. It's coming.
I'll let you know when.
Hell yeah.
And keep rocking. Keep doing your thing. Thanks.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. We're out. Peace.
See ya.